Alright, so all of these new eyeshadow palette releases are really coming for me. I just recreated my own version of the Natasha Denona Yucca palette, and now I'm seeing images for an Anastasia Beverly Hills Cosmos palette. And the first thing I thought was, I need that. And then the second thing that I thought was, I could make that so much better. A lot of these mainstream brands are finally coming to realize that people want multi-chromes and duochromes and sparkly fun eyeshadows. Indie brands have been doing that and perfecting it for years. So when I saw the palette, I was like, I can make that so much better with my indie shadows, my indie sparkly duochromes, multi-chromes, and so that's what I'm going to do today. Some of the shades I think I might have like exact dupes of in like some of my Adept shadows, but I'm not wanting to exactly dupe the palette. I want to take the vibes of it and then just make it better, or better for me. And I love using my indie multi-chromes and duochromes, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull some mattes. I have some Natasha Denona mattes that I think actually are like exact dupes probably for the shades in the palette, but all of the sparkly shades I'm going to pull from my indie shadows. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm planning to have everything fit in here. The first thing that I'm going to do is pull out the 5 mattes, because I'm pretty sure that across just 2 Natasha Denona palettes I have all of the mattes that are in the Cosmos palette. Okay, so there's a couple different pictures online of this palette, and in the photo on the Anastasia website itself, it's showing Mars as a little bit more reddy orange for the shade Mars, but the photo that's on Trend Mood is showing it more as like a terracotta orange. I'm kind of torn between using either Tribe or Rustic. So for now, like, it just, honestly, it kind of doesn't make sense for that shade to be in this palette with the like shimmer and duochrome shades that are in there. I'm gonna pull both, and because this is a palette for me to use, once I get my shimmer shades, I'm gonna see which matte works better, because if I don't need to just completely recreate the palette. I want to recreate it in a way that's going to make me want to use it. So I'll choose between those 2 shades after I have all of my shimmers. The shade Dark Matter, on the Trend Mood site, it's showing it as just like a really dark shade, but the one on the Anastasia website, it's actually showing it as like a dark purple. So for that, I'm actually going to pick Voodoo from the Safari palette. And then from the same photo on the website, it's showing Eclipse as also more of a purple. So I'm going to choose this shade Masai. And then for the shades Comet and Space Dust, so I could go with Aya and Amhara, because I think that would also sort of fit the vibes of it, but Aya is a little bit light, so I'm actually going to choose Tusk from the Biba palette. And then for the shade Comet, I'm between Amhara and Buff. Based on, again, the photo from the Anastasia website, it's looking a little bit more peach to me, so I'm going to choose Buff. Okay, so those cover the mattes. Actually, I guess it would be Eclipse, Dark Matter. Okay, I think I'm gonna make the decision, I think. This is just leaning a little bit too orange. I honestly don't think it's gonna go well with the sparkly shades that I'm gonna end up choosing. So I think for the most part, I'm just gonna go with Rustic from the Biba palette. So, alright, so I have my mattes picked out, and now let's go get some shimmers. And based on the swatches that are on the arm from the Trend Mood account, there's 5 of the shimmers swatched, and 4 of them appear to be quite sheer toppery type shades, and then that last black sparkle is not. I don't know that I necessarily have a black with glitter shade, because it kind of looks like a matte black but with like blue and silver shimmers, and I might have a shade like that somewhere, but I'm probably going to replace it with something that is more likely a shade for me to wear. But let's go get some of those topper shades. These are my Cleona multichromes. I have some of them out in my grungy neutral palette, and actually some of them that are in there might fit the vibe of what the topper shades appear to be. But I'm going to try to find something here and with my Adept Shades before I go breaking apart that neutral palette, because I'm still enjoying using that. But so basically all of these white ones are, what's the technical name? Iridescent multichrome or glitter iridescent. And yeah, probably that one. So the image shows that there's like a green one, a bluey one, more of a purple lavender, and then kind of just a pink. So I'll just stick with those ones for now. And I thought of my Adept Shades, the Plain Jane palette has some like toppery type shades. Right, I'm thinking that these ones are a bit more solid in their color, not as much of like a topper type shade. So I think I have enough to work with. I pulled these two. I'm kind of thinking that this might be really good in place of Galaxy. It has like a green purple shift. I'm not sure how much the purple is picking up, but it's dark enough, and it's more of a shade that I would likely use. So that's definitely gonna go in. And then I don't think I've seen any swatches of the shade Mercury, but it just kind of looks like a cool toned taupe, and I think this fits that pretty well. And then for the shade Sun, I'm not sure that that's one of the toppers. It might be more of like a solid orangey gold. Alright, so this one shifts a bit pink, and I think the shade Sun is maybe more of a true gold, so I'm going to keep this one for that. Alright, and then it's basically just between these for the topper shades. If I'm going based on like just what things look like in the pan, it would make more sense to choose some of these Adept shadows, because you can actually see like it has more of a base color that's translucent in a way, and then the Cliona ones are more of a white base, and then it's just that they shift to a color. So I'm going to try and do some swatching comparisons. So this is one that would be shifting like the purple lavender. Which is also a bit what this is. And also a bit what that is. These two are actually quite similar. I'm having a really hard time deciding. They're all so gorgeous. I think I like that this one has a bit of a darker undertone. So I think I'm going to keep that one. Alright, this one I think is leaning like blue. What's that shift? Maybe that doesn't fit for any of them. Okay, I think it could be between these two for that super, no, or maybe it's the Orion shade. I think I like this one, which is this one. Okay, now back between these. Man, I think Adept might be the overall winner. Alright, and this, actually, based on just what the pan looks like, this looks like almost a dupe for Kesar. Maybe that one's swatch is different? I don't know, hard to tell, but I think I'm just going to keep that. And does that fit it? I think that might be it. These ones didn't even get a chance. That one might be, although that would be good for the, did I choose one that shifts green? Maybe I'll just throw that in too, if there's room. Man, those are all gorgeous, but I don't think that they're gonna go in this palette. I kind of like the idea of including that, but I don't know. let's see how everything fits in the palette first, I guess. I think I'm going to end up having to arrange it completely different than how the Cosmos palette is laid out, just because of the shape of my palette. So I actually think I'm going to kind of arrange them like the darks all on one side. Okay, well now I have just more room. Should I pull a couple back in? I think I might pull a couple back in. So it's kind of turned into an Adept party, which I'm totally fine with that. But just for fun, since I've got these Cleonas, I think I'm just gonna put some of these in. Okay, so now aesthetically in the pan, it kind of doesn't look like the Cosmos palette at all. But honestly, I'm totally okay with that. This was more about kind of using Cosmos as an inspiration to make the palette that I would use, so my Cosmos palette, and you know, keeping the theme of the mattes the same, I think is totally cool. Now I just have a ton of iridescent topper type shades, and I'm kind of just really excited to use this. So I'm gonna go give my hands a quick wash, and then I'll come back and do a final swatch. Hopefully I can keep it somewhat on the rails for the swatching. I'm gonna start with the mattes, and then pretty much once you start with glitters, it kind of just turns into a glitter goblin mess. So we'll see if we can maintain. Alright, hopefully that wasn't too cringy for some of you to watch. I know I swatched in a very chaotic direction and manner. I realized that and I apologize, but it felt logical to me, starting with the mattes and then going sort of from lightest to darkest in terms of the shimmers and toppers. So one of the things I was thinking, even though I loved the color story, it seemed sort of an odd release for summer. But looking at the swatches of the shades that I picked out, it kind of makes sense. I feel like you can get a lot of really pretty looks by using one of the more transparent and just topper type shades all over the lid, and then maybe if you need to put one of the mattes in the crease or in the outer corner or something. But I think especially in summer, like if you're outside and the sun is shining, and I think it'll just like really hit the glitter and shimmer, and I think it'll just look really beautiful. It kind of makes sense to be a summer palette. Alright, what do y'all think? Are you in the market for an eyeshadow palette? Do you plan on picking the ABH Cosmos palette up? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm pretty excited to start using this and see what kind of looks I can come up with. If you're new here and haven't subscribed yet, I would love it if you did. It'll be a lot of videos sort of like this. I'm in the middle of a no-buy year, so it's all about revisiting the makeup that I already have and sort of rediscovering maybe some loves from the past that I forgot about. Other than that, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!